Stephen Bradley here from Grizzly Functional Training, and today we're answering the big one. So, as the title says, I've tried everything, but I still can't lose weight. I quite often get email inquiries, get people reaching out on Instagram and stuff like that. But I've had someone reach out recently via email to ask me what more they can be doing about losing fat. So the email goes, I've been trying to get rid of my gut. I have already lost a few kilos, but it's not from my gut. It seems that I am losing muscle instead. I am really worried. I play golf 3 to 4 times a week. I hike up and down a mountain trail behind my house every day. It's not an easy trail. It's about 6 kilometers and I go hard. I tried to do it before dinner thinking I will be burning up fat and not what I eat. I've tried fasting, tried eating nothing that has much sugar in it. I've tried avoiding gluten as much as I can. My diet is mainly mixed nuts and blueberries. In the last month, I have had 2 small steaks, 1 chicken breast, some pieces of fish, and frozen veggies. I don't know what to do, but I am not happy with losing muscle and still having a gut. Somebody else who is apparently tried everything. Look, I get this quite a lot. People telling me they eat healthy, they do this, they do that. They've tried keto, they've tried vegan, they've tried carb cycling, they've tried calorie counting, they've tried this, they've tried that, blah, 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 blah. They've tried everything. And look, coming from somebody who in the past thought they had tried everything, I've got some key little pieces of advice here for how you can finally start shedding some weight. We're going to dive straight into my few little tips that I've got here for you. Alright, make sure you stick around right till the very end because I'm going to let you in on a little industry secret that no one really talks about enough. Before we get into my tip number 1, make sure you jump down into the description and have a crack at my free quiz. It's going to tell you what the best piece of gym equipment is for you and your goals. And while you're there, get yourself your free copy of my ebook, Train Wherever the you want. And why not give me a like and a subscribe? First little tip I want to give you is you have to start understanding what you're eating, understanding what's in your food. The 3 main things that are making up any calories you're eating are fats, carbs, and protein. And getting the balance of those 3 things right is going to go a long way to helping you get the body that you want. Alright, so firstly, carbohydrates. It's the thing that gets a really bad rap all the time. Everyone's always blaming weight gain on carbohydrate. And while that's partially true, it's not 100%. It's actually a little bit of misleading information. Look, carbohydrates are your body's preferred fuel source. Your body is taking the sugars from the carbohydrates and breaking it down into energy. The problem with that is we eat a lot of very carb dense foods and we're eating the wrong kind of carbs. We're eating way too many refined sugars in a lot of the foods we have these days. So you do want to get your carbohydrates in, but you want to get them in from whole foods. You want to have whole food sources in general with anything I'm giving you on the list here of our macronutrients. So think more fruits and veggies rather than cereals and chips and breads and pastas and things like that. Try and get whole food sources, so avoid getting your carbohydrates in from a packet. Alright, fat. Now fats are our body's second preferred energy source. What's happening at a very basic level is when we eat too many carbohydrates, our body stores that later on as fats. So your body uses fats as energy as well. On top of that, fats are helping move nutrients around the body and just helping everything else work. Fats are another big one we want to have in our diet at the right amount. So fats you can find in things like fish, oils, nuts, avocados, things like that. Those are our healthy fat sources. And then there's protein. Look, the main protein sources a lot of people are eating are coming from animals, from meats, from fish, from chicken, from things like that. You can also find protein in dairy products, and if you are a vegan, you can find your protein in things like legumes, seeds, and nuts. But on that note, a lot of people get confused and say things like, nuts, it's a protein. Oats, it's a protein. Lentils, They're a protein. Not 100%, they do have a protein content, but lentils, oat, they're still a grain, they're still predominantly a carbohydrate. Your nuts are still predominantly a fat. So while they do have a protein content with them, you've got to be mindful of the other things they're bringing to the party as well. Because really, we want to try and get more protein into our diet. We want to get more of a balance. So you should be getting anywhere from 30 to 50% of your food from carbohydrate, maybe 20 to 30 from fats, and 20 to 30 from protein. So the benefit of getting more protein in our diet, the first one that I'm sure you all know is it's gonna build muscle. That's right, protein is what our body uses to build muscle. But even if you're not worried about building muscle, losing weight is your goal, you still want to get a lot of protein in because it's going to help maintain your muscles. So when you have a high protein diet, when you're trying to lose weight, you're going to maintain the muscle that you've got on, and your body's going to burn the fat instead. As well as that, protein is slower to digest, so it's going to keep you full for longer. So if you're trying to lose weight, having a high protein diet is going to aid in that process because you're not going to be eating as often. Alright, the next little tip I want to give you is train for strength. Like our mate at the start saying he's playing lots of golf and going for walks. All I'm hearing is a whole lot of cardio, which is a big mistake people make, is they do too much cardio when they're trying to lose weight. You do want to do some cardio, but you also want to have some resistance training in as well. You want to keep your muscles stimulated. You want to build muscle because muscle weighs more than fat. And because it weighs more, it requires more energy to move. It requires more calories. So when you build more muscle mass, you're going to start burning fat quicker. Incorporate some strength work into your training and some strength specific goals. Things like see how many push-ups you can do and try and add on more to that. Even if you're just training around at home, try and carry heavier and heavier loads of just stuff you have around the house. Fill up some buckets of sand and try and get more and more sand in. Give yourself measurable goals. That's going to give you a lot better results than just going and playing golf and going for some big long hikes. You need to be building some strength in your muscles as well. You need to be doing some resistance training. And that doesn't necessarily have to be just through lifting weights. In the description you're going to find your free copy of my ebook Train Wherever the you want, and that is my full guide to everything resistance bands. These guys here, I do a lot of my training with resistance bands. The other thing you can do is you can get online and grab yourself a kettlebell. A kettlebell is another really great way to get some strength training in at home. So I'll pop a link in the description to some resistance bands I recommend using, and also some kettlebells I recommend using. Another thing you should be doing is drinking plenty of water. Your body needs water. We're like fucking 80% water anyway. But we need water. Water as well is going to keep you full. So drink plenty of water. Water helps your muscles grow. Water helps move shit around your body. You need to be getting more water in. All right, we need to stop making poor choices with food and drink as well. Stop buying stuff from packets. If you really want to have your pasta dish, make the pasta yourself. Make the sauce yourself. Then you know exactly what's going into it. I'm all for having your treats, but you got to know what's in them. And drink as well. Going back to water from before. Stop drinking soft drinks. Stop drinking sports waters when you don't need it. Have more fucking water. Make better choices with what you're drinking, with what you're putting into your body. Whole foods, my friends. And on that note, think about the calories that you're drinking as well. Just one 330ml can of Coca-Cola has 139 calories in it. A can of beer is about the same. So you've got to think about all that as well. If you're going out on the weekend and you're having a few beers, you need to allow for that with what you're eating during the day as well. A lot of people don't think that through. They'll eat reasonably cleanly throughout the week, and then Friday night they'll go and knock back 10 beers, and then they'll get up the next morning, feel a bit dusty, bacon and eggs for breakfast, a burger for lunch, a pizza for dinner, back on the beers the following night, and the next day the diet's just as bad. All those calories that you've just ate and drunk have just undone all the good work you've done throughout the week. I'm not saying stop drinking. I don't mind a beverage myself, but make better choices. Go vodka soda. Any spirit and soda, a standard shot of any spirit is 60 calories. Soda water, nothing. So you've just had half as many calories by switching to whiskey soda, vodka soda, than if you were having it with Coke, or if you were having you're having beers or a glass of wine. Wine is very similar, about 120, 130 calories. So think about what you're drinking. Juice is no different. Juice is a big one a lot of people don't realize. The process to making juice is you're basically just squeezing out all of the good shit and just leaving behind all of these sugars. I know that the sugars in fruit aren't necessarily bad, but a standard glass of apple juice has approximately 4 apples in it, but you're not getting the fiber or nothing like that anymore. The fiber is what's helping you stay full when you eat an apple. So if you were to sit down and just eat 1 apple, you'd feel a little bit full. But the thought of eating 4 apples, I guarantee you're not going to be super stoked on trying to get through 4 apples. But 1 glass of apple juice has all of the sugar from the apples. Juice is another big one to be mindful of, to allow for. All right, now is the time you've all been waiting for. The moment I promised, the industry secret that no one's really talking about. The ultimate tip for how to lose weight and to get the body you want. Reduce your calories. It's that simple. It doesn't matter what diet you decide to follow, whether you're doing keto, whether you're doing low carb, whether you're doing carb cycling, whether you're vegetarian, whether you're paleo, whatever your diet you decide to do, it doesn't matter if you're eating too many calories. To lose weight, you need to be eating less calories than you burn. To gain weight, you need to be eating more calories than you burn. So, on the flip side of that, if you're one of my skinny brothers out there who's trying to gain weight, you're not eating enough. Eat more. If you think you're eating enough, you think you're eating more, eat more again. If you're not gaining weight, you're not eating enough. If you're not losing weight, you're eating too much. So start finding out how many calories are in the food. Go down into the description. I'm going to put a little calorie calculator in there so that you can find out exactly how many calories you should be eating for your height, your size, for everything. So you can find out exactly how many calories you should be eating. And use an app like myfitnesspal. I swear by it, it makes it so easy. You log everything that you're eating. It tells you the macronutrients, it tells you the calories, it tells you everything you need to know. So there it is. My little industry secret that no one wants you to know. It really doesn't matter what your dietary choice is. If you're trying to lose weight, eat less calories. It's simple. All right, thank you for checking out the video. If you haven't already, jump down into the description and check out my free quiz. Find out what piece of gym equipment is best for you and your training goals. Is it resistance bands? Is it a kettlebell? Is it a barbell? Is it dumbbells? What is it? Take my quiz, you'll find out. Find out the best piece of equipment for your fitness goals. Get your free copy of my ebook, Train Wherever the you want. It's down there as well. And while you're there, give me a like, give me a subscribe, chuck a comment in, let me know what else you want to know. That's the whole point of this channel. I'm here to answer your questions. So just like old mate who sent me the email, something you want to know, chuck it in the comments. I'm happy to make a video for you. See you on the next one.